Yes, indeed. WWE is one of the greatest fucking shows on earth, and hopefully that stays true this upcoming weekend, as the WWE will hold two pay-per-views from the Toyota Center down there in Houston, Texas, as WWE NXT Takeover WarGames is on Saturday night, and WWE Survivor Series is on Sunday night. Both will be streaming live on the WWE Network and on pay-per-view, the WWE Network, which, if you haven't subscribed to already, it is only $9.99 a month. By the way, I do not own any following pictures or sounds that you might have heard at the beginning of this episode of Across the Goal Line, other than this Across the Goal Line picture that you have seen or are about to see, the Across the Goal Line profile picture, and this audio recording. So I want to make that clear that I do not own any other content other than the Across the Goal Line picture and this audio recording. So without further ado, I will be getting into some picks and predictions for both WWE pay-per-views, as I said, that are this upcoming weekend, November 18th and 19th, 2017. Today is Wednesday, November 15th, 2017. Still got NXT tonight. NXT is obviously taped ahead of time. So if you are a diehard wrestling fan, you do know what is going to happen tonight in Orlando for NXT. I'll probably watch it sometime here by the end of the week, as I will be watching both of these pay-per-views this upcoming weekend. So, as I said, without further ado, I'll get into my picks and predictions for both WWE NXT Takeover WarGames and Survivor Series 2017 that are going to be taking place down there in Houston, Texas at the Toyota Center, home of the Houston Rockets. First match, let's see here. Aleister Black is going to be taking on the Velveteen Dream. A lot of people know him as Patrick Clark. He was on the latest season of WWE Tough Enough back in the summer of 2015. He has somehow, some way, made his way this far in the WWE, as everybody else on that season has been released. Big news in the WWE today as well. They have come to terms and released James Ellsworth, who was on SmackDown Live there, and he got over with the crowd there late last year, early this year, but really hasn't been doing anything since. Has been teamed up with Carmella, and then basically the past couple months has just been getting beat up by the other women on SmackDown Live. But he is currently not a member of the WWE anymore. As I said, they came to terms with him earlier today and released James Ellsworth, so keep an eye out for him on the indie circuit. But Patrick Clark, Velveteen Dream, I don't see him having a chance against Aleister Black. I really like Aleister Black. I think he's a dark horse in NXT at the moment. He's got all the talent in the world. He just needs to get that little push, and maybe he'll be NXT champion one day, but we'll have to see. I got to take Aleister Black in this singles match. Cassius Ohno, otherwise known as Chris Hero, is taking on Lars Sullivan. I got to take Hero. Cassius Ohno in NXT. As I said, I'm a big wrestling fan, so I know these guys as what their former name was, on the independent circuit. But so just stay with me there if I say something and you're like, well, he said this, he said that. But anyways, fatal 4-way match for the vacant NXT Women's Championship. Vacant, I say, because as you might remember, Asuka was the NXT Women's Champion. She had to relinquish her championship due to injury. She is now up on the main roster on Monday Night Raw, part of the 5-on-5 Survivor Series team for Monday Night Raw against SmackDown Live, as WWE will be having two 5-on-5 matches on Sunday at Survivor Series, one for the women and one for the men. I'll get to those here a little bit later on, as Luke Bryan would say. But now, Fatal 4-Way, Ember Moon, Karari Sane, Nikki Cross, and Peyton Royce are going to battle it out in that Fatal 4-Way match for the vacant NXT Women's Championship. I really like Sanity, so I got to take Nikki Cross. I could see them giving it to Ember Moon, somebody who does deserve it. So I'm going to take Nikki Cross, but I would not be surprised to see Ember Moon walk out of Houston, Texas on Saturday night with the NXT Women's Championship. Pete Dunne then is going toe-to-toe with Johnny Gargano for the WWE United Kingdom Championship. Pete Dunne made his main roster debut a couple weeks ago. Actually, it was last week when WWE was overseas in Manchester, England for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, as they were on a 2-week overseas tour. So it was the perfect time for him to debut. Johnny Gargano, on the other hand, has been just floating around NXT. I think Pete Dunne's going to win. I think Johnny Gargano could possibly make his main roster debut Sunday at Survivor Series, or sometime here in the near future on either Monday Night Raw or SmackDown Live. So I got to take Pete Dunne to retain the United Kingdom Championship. I really like what, and I know I'm saying that a lot, but I really like what WWE's doing with the United Kingdom Championship. They're letting whoever the champion is, Pete Dunne at the moment, defend the title on the independent circuit overseas. So I think that's really interesting, because you might have a guy, if WWE says it's all right, defeat the champion, and then they bring that guy in to be in NXT then. So anyways, next match then would be the NXT Championship match. I think will be the co-main event. I think the main event's going to be the WarGames match. You're going to have the 2 rings side by side and 3 tag teams going at it. I'll get to that here in a second. Drew McIntyre, though, is defending his NXT Championship against Andrade Cien Almas. I think McIntyre is going to retain, and then with that WarGames match, you got a guy like Adam Cole or even Eric Young that could possibly go up against McIntyre here in the future and contend for that NXT Championship. Adam Cole, I think WWE is going to have him work his way up, but I think Adam Cole in the Undisputed Era, alongside Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, are the future of NXT. So McIntyre, I think, will beat Almas. And then that WarGames match, which is the first time in forever in the WWE that they're having this, mainly known in WCW. But the Authors of Pain are going up, and Roderick Strong, don't want to forget him, are going up against Sanity and the Undisputed Era of Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. So it's 9 guys going at it inside 2 basically steel cages that are connected together. The rings will be together as well, and it should be really interesting. I don't know who WWE is going to want to have win this match. As most people know, most of WWE is scripted storyline purposes, which is totally fine by me. It makes it interesting, but then sometimes it also, you can see what's going to be happening, next week or the week after. But as I'll get to here in a minute, little what's the right word I want to use? Little it was unpredictable. Triple H made his return on Monday Night Raw. If you didn't see Raw, and a lot of people were shocked that he did make his return so early in the WWE calendar, as WrestleMania is not until April. So I'll get to that here in a minute, because I want to talk about Survivor Series, obviously. So I got to pick pick Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly just because I like them. I like Sanity, though, too. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have them win. The Authors of Pain really haven't done a whole lot since losing the tag team titles to Sanity. So maybe they do have the Undisputed Era win, and then the Authors of Pain and Sanity are going to be going back at it again for the tag team titles. We'll have to see, but I'm going to have the Undisputed Era defeat the other two tag teams there in that WarGames match come Saturday night. Now on to WWE Survivor Series, which is this upcoming Sunday, as I said, on the WWE Network. The first match that I want to go over is on the pre-show. It's between Enzo Amore and Kalisto for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Enzo is currently the champion, getting the title back a couple weeks ago there on Raw. I think he'll retain. The next match then that I think will kick off the show is going to be the 6-man tag team match between The Shield and the New Day. If you did not watch Raw or SmackDown this past week, or haven't been watching Raw or SmackDown for the past month and a half, SmackDown invaded Raw. That hashtag under siege that Shane McMahon's trying to get over. SmackDown invaded Raw. Raw had not invaded SmackDown yet until last night on SmackDown. I'll get to that here in a minute. But then last week on Raw, the New Day came out of the crowd as the Shield does when they were overseas in Manchester, and then that led to the Shield challenging the New Day this past week on Raw to a match at Survivor Series. New Day accepted, and then last night on SmackDown, the New Day were in a match against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and then the Shield, their music hit. They came down out of the crowd as well, as they do, and then SmackDown was invaded by Monday Night Raw and Monday Night Raw General Manager Kurt Angle. This should be one hell of a match. Roman Reigns is back from his infection, his sickness that he had, as a couple superstars on the WWE roster had. Bray Wyatt's back as well, not part of the card, understandable, really doesn't have anything going for him at the moment. But Roman Reigns, he was still getting booed, by the crowd and everything. So it was good that WWE put the Shield back together right before TLC there. But then Kurt Angle, had to get involved. He replaced Roman, but as I said, Roman's back. So now we got the Shield New Day match. I think they're gonna have the Shield win, just because everybody's still gonna like the New Day, and once they have the Shield win, everybody will start liking them again, especially Roman, as WWE's trying to do. And then sometime here, before WrestleMania, I know that's not for another couple months away, but the Shield will break up. Believe me, they'll part ways again. Ambrose and Rollins will probably go back to doing their tag team thing, and then maybe turn on each other again. Maybe we get Ambrose Rollins at WrestleMania. We could see Ambrose turning on Rollins, then they put Reigns right back into the title picture. We'll have to see. As I said, it's right before Survivor Series. We've got a long time before WrestleMania. We still got Clash of Champions next month, and then Royal Rumble. Don't know what the situation is at the moment on whether or not WWE is going to be having a pay-per-view right after the Royal Rumble and before WrestleMania. I assume they will, because they normally do, but I think if they do, they should only have one instead of two. Don't have the Elimination Chamber and Fastlane. Have one of them, or have a different pay-per-view. So, going back to this match, I'm taking the Shield. New Day, everybody still likes them, so they can have them lose. Next match, then, I want to predict is that 5-on-5 women's match between Team Raw and Team SmackDown. Team Monday Night Raw, Team Red, Alicia Fox, Nia Jax, who is not like most girls, Asuka, Sasha Banks, and Bayley are going up against Team SmackDown, Team Blue, Becky Lynch, Carmella, Naomi, Tamina, and a superstar to be announced later. Well, I think that superstar to be announced later is going to be Paige. There's been a lot of rumors swirling recently that she's going to be coming back. I guess WWE was going to be bringing her back when they were overseas last week, in the second week of that European tour when they were doing TV for Raw and SmackDown. They did not have her come out, so now there's a spot open on Team SmackDown for this 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match. So I think perfect spot to put Paige. So I think Paige will be that fifth and final member for Team Blue, Team SmackDown against Raw. And I think they'll have SmackDown win with Paige returning. Get her some street cred going again. So I got to take Team Blue, Team SmackDown, or Team Raw for that. Next is the tag team match. Raw tag team champs Cesaro and Sheamus, The Bar, We Are The Bar, are going up against SmackDown tag team champs, the Usos, Jimmy and Jey Uso, twin brothers. Now it is a non-title match, so the winner is not going to get the other brands championship belts. I could see The Bar, We Are The Bar, as I said, Cesaro and Sheamus beating the Usos. I really don't care for either of these tag teams at the moment, but it is what it is. Next match then is the Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, going head-to-head with the United States Champion, Baron Corbin. Miz is on Raw. Corbin's on SmackDown. Corbin defeated Sin Cara last night, I get those two mixed up all the time. Defeated Sin Cara last night on SmackDown to retain. So there was a little question going into Survivor Series up until last night on whether or not Miz was going to be facing the current champ Corbin, or if Corbin lost, he would be facing Sin Cara. Well, Corbin won, so he's going to be facing Corbin now. So the Miz and Baron Corbin are going at it. Axel and Bo Dallas are also going to be there alongside Miz's side. I think that helps the Miz, but it also hurts the Miz. I think Corbin gets the win. Axel and Dallas will get involved, but it's going to hurt the Miz, and he'll get mad at them. They'll end up breaking up sometime here soon, and they'll put them in the Intercontinental Championship picture as well, and we'll have a triple threat match here sometime, maybe at Royal Rumble for the Intercontinental Championship between the Miz, Curtis Axel, and Bo Dallas. Next match for Survivor Series 2017 is the Women's Championship match, which, as I say, Women's Championship match. You got the Raw Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss, going head-to-head with SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte now. Was Natalya. There was another title match on SmackDown last night as well, and Charlotte defeated Natalya. She cut a promo saying her dad wasn't there. We all know what Ric Flair's gone through recently. He ended up coming out. They were in Charlotte, North Carolina as well, where they both currently, or at least I knew they resided. I think Charlotte's going to win. I think both these girls could get involved in that 5-on-5 Survivor Series inter-brand match, elimination match there between Raw and SmackDown for the women, not the men, just because they aren't going to have anything else for them to do. I know they have a match, but you got to keep all the women together. And if Alexa Bliss loses, I could see her getting real pissed off. She's a heel, at the other divas, other women superstars on Raw the following night or in the weeks after. And then we might be getting, Asuka against Alexa Bliss. Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss are best friends. Maybe they go head to head. Sasha and Bayley are best friends. At least that's what WWE wants you to think. I know they are in real life, but on TV wise, sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. So maybe, and you can't forget about Alicia Fox either. Somehow, some way, she's a Team Raw captain, for God's sakes. I don't know how the hell that happened, but it did. So I think Charlotte wins, and then 2 final matches. Then you got the Beast Brock Lesnar going up against the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, the Universal Champion against the WWE Champion. Brock Lesnar is currently the Universal Champion, and AJ Styles is now the WWE Champion as he defeated Jinder Mahal last Tuesday night on SmackDown on TV, and it was the first time in forever, as well, that both the championship was turned over, was lost by the current champion on TV and overseas at the same time, as they were in Manchester, England last week for both Raw and SmackDown, as I've said already. I think Styles is the WWE champion at the moment just because Jinder Mahal's hurt. WWE's not saying it. They canceled some events over in India that he was supposed to be part of. They're going to be going on an Indian tour here about this time, next month, December, right before Christmas. Actually, I'm going to be going to a couple WWE events here in the future as well. NXT is coming to the area, and then they're bringing WWE Live back as well, so I'll be going to that. And I'll be posting pictures and videos as I normally do on Facebook and all the social media sites. By the way, if you haven't already, Cross Goal Line's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and obviously here on YouTube, so follow and subscribe if you haven't already. All the links are in the description below. So Lesnar, Styles, non-title match as well as the tag team match was. I could see this match ending with both guys coming out on top, to be honest with you. Now, obviously, that's not going to happen. It's really who WWE wants to be the top guy at the moment. The thing with Lesnar, he's not there all the time. Styles is. I think if you have Styles win, both superstars are highly liked. So if you have Lesnar lose, it's really not going to hurt because he'll go off TV for a while. Probably won't defend his title probably until Royal Rumble. He'll come back. Everybody's still going to like him. If you have Styles lose, he's going to be there on Tuesday. So everybody's going to remember that. People have short-term memory loss, folks. So I think if you have Styles win over Lesnar, it'll be better, for the near future. And then you bring back Lesnar whenever the hell you feel like it, and everybody's still going to like him. So I think Styles will defeat Brock Lesnar. It was a funny segment, both on Raw and SmackDown this past week. Somebody was proposing to their girlfriend in the audience in Atlanta, Georgia, at Phillips Arena, down there where the Hawks play at, when Paul Heyman was cutting the promo on AJ Styles, and Brock Lesnar was standing there as well, and they both just started laughing their ass off, and then Heyman said something. I don't even remember what he said. It was just so hilarious, so funny. And then last time on SmackDown, Daniel Bryan was AJ Styles' advocate, as Paul Heyman is to Brock Lesnar. So it was pretty funny. But and then the final match. So I'm gonna take Styles over Lesnar on Sunday night at Survivor Series. And then the last match for Survivor Series is the 5-on-5 elimination match for the men Team Raw, Team Red going up against Team SmackDown, Team Blue. Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and Triple H now, rather than Jason Jordan, Kurt Angle's so-called son, on Team Raw going up against Shane McMahon, by the way, who is Triple H's brother-in-law in real life, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, and John Cena, who some people might say, well, he was part of Raw. Well, you remember over the summer, he was a free agent after he was on SmackDown, because he went and filmed a movie, came back on the 4th of July, said he was a free agent, he was on SmackDown, and then they had him wrestle Reigns at No Mercy for Raw at the end of September. Now Cena's part of SmackDown again. As I said, he's a free agent. WWE wants you to forget that. So Cena's on SmackDown now. This is going to be the best match of the night. I don't care what anybody says. This will be the best match of the night. Kurt Angle, second match on TV, wrestled last week or 2 weeks ago on that overseas trip for the WWE. As he wrestled in that TLC match with the Shield against The Miz and all those guys. Yeah, because it was a 5-on-3 is what it was. So now I remember. I do remember this as well. Pretty sure I said, pretty damn sure I said in my TLC predictions, I said Triple H would be coming out very, very soon, coming back soon, possibly be in that Survivor Series match, because Triple H, he's married to Stephanie, she's the commissioner of Monday Night Raw, Kurt Angle's the general manager, Shane's on SmackDown, her brother in real life, Vince is obviously the head honcho of it all, and then, Stephanie comes back, says Angle's not doing a good job. This, folks, what you saw this past week on Raw, 2 nights ago, Triple H coming out, Jason Jordan so-called hurt, they'll write him off for a little bit. Kurt Angle didn't want to name the 5th and final member for Team Raw. Triple H came out, said, I'm the 5th member of Team Red, Team Raw for Survivor Series. Everybody went nuts. And then pedigree Jason Jordan. This, folks, is the first step between a match between Kurt Angle and Triple H, whether it's at Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. Probably WrestleMania. You might get Shane involved in this as well. I could see 2 matches at WrestleMania right now. Kurt Angle against Triple H, and then last night on SmackDown as well, Daniel Bryan seems to be turning heel, or he will be here in the next couple weeks. I could see Daniel Bryan against Shane McMahon at WrestleMania if WWE clears Daniel Bryan. What was that? I just got a notification. Okay. Zeke saga comes to close. Cowboys running back, got some football news in here. Ezekiel Elliott withdraws his appeal, and he will serve his full 6-game suspension. So he already missed 1 game this past week against the Falcons. I talked about that in my NFL predictions video this week, so go check that out. College football video is out as well, so go listen to that if you haven't done so already as well. So, as I said, I could see 2 matches at WrestleMania at the moment. Things change, obviously, I know that, but for this match, as I said, it's going to probably be the best match of the night. I'm leaning towards taking Raw, but as I said, I believe the first step, the stones were set for that, for this angle, for this feud between Kurt Angle and Triple H. I believe those were set on Monday Night Raw this past week, and I think Team Raw loses, and then I think he got Angle and Stephanie, fighting, and then Triple H comes out. They'll give it some time. As I said, we've got a couple months from now until Royal Rumble at the end of January and WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans at the beginning of April. So WWE will probably let it play out, and then you'll have a feud going on SmackDown maybe between Shane and Daniel Bryan. Hopefully, I think everybody would like to see Daniel Bryan come back out of retirement. I think it'd be good as well. It'd be funny. His first match back, if they do clear him, his first match back would be in the Superdome down in New Orleans, where he had his last match for the WWE at WrestleMania 30, whenever he won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship after defeating Triple H earlier in the night, and then defeating both Randy Orton and Batista for the championships. So I got to take SmackDown over Raw on Sunday night. We're going to get to see Kurt Angle go up against Shane McMahon, both commissioners going at it. Braun Strowman going up against John Cena. Finn Balor going up against Shinsuke Nakamura. We've seen that in Japan. We've seen that in NXT. You got Samoa Joe going up against Bobby Roode. Two guys who, have gone toe-to-toe before in TNA. Also in NXT, I believe. If my memory is good enough. And then you got Triple H going up against Randy Orton, two guys who have gone head-to-head how many times in the past in the WWE. So it should be a really, really good match. Hopefully it's a good match, and hopefully both NXT Takeover, WarGames, and Survivor Series on Sunday are the greatest fucking show WWE has put out this year.